As COVID cases rise around the U.S., several areas are again shutting down indoor dining, including right here in New York City. Governor Cuomo just announcing today that restaurant closures are accelerating, and the continued delay of a second stimulus is putting immense financial strain on the restaurants that have survived thus far. Amanda Cohen is the chef and owner of Dirt Candy in New York City, and she joins us now. Amanda, thanks so much for being here with us. I want to start with the announcement that we just heard from Governor Cuomo. What does a second shutdown of indoor dining mean for you and for Dirt Candy?
Well, unfortunately, we actually never did indoor dining at Dirt Candy. I just didn't think it was worth it. 25%, it just didn't seem like there was going to be any financial gain for doing it. And I'm actually not 100% convinced that it's safe yet. It would also mean in exactly a situation like this that I would have to have hired more people. And I also now would have had to lay them off, which is what you're going to see hundreds and thousands of restaurants doing in New York City. So
that's what we're going to see again as a result of this announcement.
Oh, for sure. Lots of restaurants staffed up, and now they're going to have to staff down. And they have, at the beginning of this pandemic, we all had some resources, hopefully going into it, some savings. But now, 9 months into it, I don't think any of us have anything left in our bank account. We have nothing to fall back on.
Well, I want to talk about that and just what the last year has been like for you. Take us back to March and how you've survived thus far and what the next few months look like for you.
So going back to March, I was running a bustling, busy restaurant. We did, 90, 100 covers a night. We were making $12,000 on a good night, maybe $10,000 on a bad night. I had 35 employees. March 16th, I laid every single one of them off. We followed the city and the government and the federal government's recommendations. We closed to keep ourselves safe and to keep the country safe. And we closed for about 4 months, reopened in July, and we survived somewhat with the PPP and because it was summer. And so we were able to serve enough guests outside. I had hired back at that point 6 staff members, which is what I still have today. And, but we're going into winter and our numbers have been dwindling. And I say the $12,000, $10,000 to then say that right now on a bad night, we're making $500, $600 a night. And on a really good night, maybe now we're making between $2,000 and $3,000. But that's not enough. Most of my costs haven't changed.
Right.
I still have to pay my rent. My insurance is still as high as it was beforehand. And this is not enough to survive.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quicktake now for insight in an instant.